Today on Happy Hour at Home, we do a little day drinking. Actually, that's what we do every single episode. It's Corey, and we're going to make a classic. This is one of the classics of all classics, featured in The Great Gatsby, for instance. Tom Buchanan served his guests in The Great Gatsby a tray full of Gin Rickeys. Now, what is a Gin Rickey? Well, it's a simple cocktail that it's not really muddled in history as far as how it was created or who it was named for. Though Colonel Joe Rickey did not apparently drink it with gin, it was with bourbon, and he didn't necessarily like being known for this cocktail. You know, he wanted to be probably known for, I don't know, his military accomplishments, but sorry, the North won, and other things like that. But it is a really simple cocktail. It is low to no sugar traditionally. Though if you make it with bourbon, which it was originally made with, which he drank every day, little morning bourbon, then that is more true to the classic. But once they started making it with gin, it really took off in popularity, and it's still popular today. So we're talking like over 100 years. Yes. Happy Friday Eve to you, Jim. Thanks for tuning in. So we're going to make a Gin Rickey. Again, Colonel Joe Rickey is who it was named for. He owned a bar that he bought from a couple of German immigrants in the late 1800s. And he took over the bar when the two immigrants, one of them being named Shoemaker, died. And let's see, did I get that right? I don't know. Shoe is Shoo, by the way, Shoemaker. And he did buy the bar. We know that for a fact. It was on E Street in Washington, D.C., which was right around the corner from, I think, it was called Rut Row. And it was right around the corner from where all the newspaper men, probably not so many women, were actually holed up. Hi, David. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And it really just took off in popularity, and it was probably one of the most popular drinks at the time. Super popular on a hot day, which we're not getting here in California. I don't know if anybody's getting those hot days just yet, but they're coming. And this sounds delightful and refreshing, and we're going to make it because it, again, has no sugar in it. Trying to cut down on the sugar. Dropping the quarantine 15. One day, friends, one day we're going to drop the quarantine 15. So I have fresh squeezed juice, but always a good option. Master of Mixes. They sell these in your grocery store. You can get a wider variety probably at your neighborhood liquor store, but I just happen to have a bunch of frozen lime juice that I have defrosted, and my boss of all bosses, hey, he gave me a couple of limes from his lime tree. Yes, I know that they look yellow, but he said that they turn yellow on the tree, and he waits for that to happen so that they get extra juicy. So we're going to just cut up a couple of lime wheels for the garnish. And because that does go in the drink, that's part of the rules. And this drink, again, I guess he came in one day and had the bartender make him this cocktail. And the bartender was Harry Johnson, I believe. Was he I don't know if he was I try to prepare for these things. I have a bunch of names and all this stuff happening in my head. But Harry Johnson, I know, wrote a book called The Bartender's Manual, and this cocktail was in there. It's in Harry Craddock's book from the famous hotel, that I love to use, and because it can be quite nuanced. Again, you can make it with bourbon, you can make it with rye whiskey, which would make it a little spicy. You can make a cocktail with grapefruit and orange tincture. I've heard people putting in just all sorts of other things, like even bitters, orange bitters into this. Mezcal and some sherry. That would be smoky. That would be good. Whiskey, like I mentioned, bourbon, and gin, the traditional. But since it can be nuanced, if you use a different kind of gin, which is flavored with juniper berries and other herbs, I'm going to use a dry gin, a Spanish dry gin versus a London dry gin from Rivas, the 1880 Spanish gin established in the 1880s. I'm going to use this for the first one, but the fine people at Infinium Spirits also gave me this strawberry flavored gin, which I think would be really pretty good with a little lime juice and soda water. And that's it. gin, soda water, preferably from a bottle, not from a gun, and fresh squeezed lime juice is your best bet to making this fabulously balanced cocktail. Super easy to make. And all we're going to need here is 2 ounces of your favorite gin. And again, yeah, it's the Star, so I would use a good gin. I wouldn't go for the super inexpensive stuff. Unless you just want to get bombed, you do you. But I wouldn't envy that hangover. But the good news is, since this is such a clean drink, I'm guessing that maybe your hangover wouldn't be so bad. Here we go. Let's see, ½ ounce. I'm streaming this, by the way, on YouTube and on my Twitch channel, Corey Dillon Live, and right here. Okay, ½ ounce of fresh lime juice, and then we're just going to top it off with soda water. Let's see how fresh this still is. This bottle's been around for a while. Let's see. Oh, we still got a little air in there. So let's do that. And we're not going to shake it up because there's A, no sugar in there, and B, we don't want to bruise our gin. No. Okay, so I have my bar spoon here. Just going to stir that up a little bit before I put in the lime wheels. Make it look pretty. And before we make the second drink and give her a shout, give her a try. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to make it look pretty like they do on the pictures, so I can take my own pictures. They're both kind of down there, but it is what it is. Let's give it a try, shall we? And I guess, cheers. Put in as much. Oh, that is good. I mean, if you love lime juice, yeah. I mean, that's nice. It is refreshing. It's a little bit of the sweet and the tart, obviously, from the citrus. And, the gin tastes nice. I can see how that would be mighty refreshing on a hot summer day. Very popular, again, the Gin Rickey, named for Colonel Joe Rickey, back in the late 1800s, who bought a bar in Washington, D.C. I don't think it's still there anymore. I did a quick search, couldn't find it. I don't know. But of course, I also spelled it S-H-O-E at first. So, S-H-O-O, Shoemakers was the name of the bar. I think it was kind of called a store. They wanted to pass it off as a store at the onset, but this is what people went shopping for. Very popular, 0 sugar. So if you're on a diet, this just might be for you. It's good if you love lime juice and citrus, and you have a great gin. You want to pour a nice refreshing cocktail during the day. Do it. Okay, so we're gonna try this for the first time. Rivas Pink. It is a Spanish distilled strawberry flavored gin, and using Columbus botanicals. Columbus was from Spain, don't you know? Let's see here. It's made with the best local strawberries. I don't know. Florida, what do you think? I tend to think the strawberries here that I'm getting in California are sweeter. But here we go. Let's try this out. And this is all I'm going to have during the middle of the day because I'm going to see the Go-Go's tonight. How about that? So let's do 2 ounces of strawberry gin. Oh yeah, it smells super sweet. It smells delicious. It smells like strawberries. 2 ounces. Okay, I didn't screw that up yet. I think this will be a good combo though. Maybe this will be my new house beverage for the spring. And I could put fresh berries in there. That would be delightful, along with fresh lime. But for now, I already ate all my strawberries, except I froze some of them. Strawberries freeze exceptionally well, and I bought a half a flat a week ago with family in town. And it was good. Okay, I did put the lime juice in there. Let's hope I can keep things straight over here, which would be a first. Then I'm just going to top it with some soda water. Give it a stir and give it a try. A sip. It's a sipper, a good sipping cocktail. Let's see who's out there. Who else is out there? Rob, hi again. This is excellent. I'd love one of those cocktails. Well, belly up to the bar here, the home bar in my kitchen. Okay, let's give it a little mix. It's not super pink in the drink. Maybe it's because of the lime juice, and I don't know. That's interesting. The color kind of disappeared on me. Interesting. It's magic. Magic. Okay. Yeah. You can get it smells like strawberry shortcake. Smells like summer. Yeah. It's subtle. Ooh, no. That's good. Yes. I like that a lot. I love that, actually. This is what I'm going to make with this strawberry gin until I find another great gin cocktail to use it in. Mmm. Both are great. But if you like a hint of sweet, that's a good go-to. That is excellent. I know pink gins are kind of a thing. I think they're coming along. But the stories that go around with all these cocktails, I love them. I just love it. I think that maybe I'll write a book with all these different cocktails and the stories or the rumors or the folklore that goes along with every single cocktail, because I think it makes it interesting. More interesting than just, I don't know, cracking open a generic BEER or something like that. Not that we don't love our craft breweries and all that other stuff. Mm. But that is really good. My parents are coming in a few weeks, making their first journey anywhere outside of church, Target, and Costco and the grocery store. Probably in 5 or 6 years. I mean, the pandemic slowed them down. They're elderly, couldn't travel. Took my second COVID test today, actually, because I had family that just came to town, their first trip in anywhere for a very long time, and my nephew contracted COVID. How? Who knows? He's only 8. And he's been super careful. He's vaccinated, but he got COVID. But all the rest of us have tended to test negative. Now, there are some scientists, I read this in The Sun, and I've heard this before, though, that the better looking you are, the better your immune system, right? And so they're saying that if you haven't gotten COVID yet, haven't, that you might be really good looking. But come on. I mean, I don't know. I think it's funny because physical attraction, or attractiveness, I should say, is a sign of good health. I mean, we know that, right? Going back to caveman days, that's how you determine a proper mate, right? They look healthy. She's got wide hips, childbirth and hips. But they are saying, my sister wants me to assure you I'm not a scientist, and we don't know how. Actually, we do know this study wasn't performed on a whole lot of people. I think it was maybe in total less than 100 people, but they had over 400 people judge their attractiveness and tested whether or not they got COVID. I don't know. I just think it's kind of hilarious. But, on a good day, I'm maybe a 6 or a 7. But most days, I'm like a 4. Beer goggles, I'm a 10. I'm a 10 with beer goggles. Mm-hmm. But if you haven't gotten the Rona yet, cheers to you and me. So here it is. This is a great, great drink. I love this. And I especially love it that there's no sugar in it, because Mama has a sweet tooth. She likes her chocolate. She likes her red vines over Twizzlers any day. But that's good. That's delightful. I really like that. And I do think, if you can, like me, if you're insane like me, juice a bunch of lemons, juice a bunch of limes, have, the fresh stuff frozen on hand so that you can pop it out and be the consummate host or hostess. But if you don't, this is it's a great brand, Master of Mixes. Love these guys. They have, of course, the light simple syrup, which is fantastic if you're going to make a gimlet, which does not have any soda water in it, but it does have a wee bit of sugar, I think. I haven't made a gimlet before, have I? No, I don't think I have. But we're going to move on, I think, to vodka next time. Or maybe we'll make another drink with mezcal. We don't drink enough mezcal. I mean, we could, and we do, but I bought a very expensive bottle. Thank you, Bryan Cranston and his partner in crime and in show business. I don't remember the guy's name because I didn't really watch Breaking Bad, but they have, what is it, Dos Amigos, I think, or Dos Hombres. That's what it is. That is their mezcal. And mezcal, of course, is smoked agave. So it does have kind of a very smoky, almost spicy flavor to it, unlike tequila, which is so smooth, isn't it? Depending on what tequila you drink. And It's it's great. I mean, I have a whole bottle of it. I spent way too much on it, but I had to have it. Somebody told me I had to have it, so there you go. I like to impress people with all the boozy booze in my house. It didn't exist before the pandemic. I maybe had a couple of bottles at a time of wine. Mm-mm. But that is good. I'm going to drink those. I'm going to put a little food in my system. Maybe take a little midday nap. That's what you can do if you want to, take a little disco nap if you want to bounce back for the party. And I'm going to the Go-Go's tonight, so that's going to happen. But again, the recipe for this, the Gin Rickey, is so easy. 2 ounces of gin or rum or any spirit you want, really. And a half ounce of lime juice, and then you top it with soda water. Delightful. So good. Cheers to my brother from another mother, Keith Connors, and working at the country station there in Tampa, QYK. Love country music. I really do. Mm. But he's a true Georgia boy working at QYK. So you guys, thank you for watching, and cheers to you. Again, I stream this every week. We do it every week, Thursdays at 2 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. And it's streamed on my Twitch channel, which you'll find at Corey Dillon Live. If you're on Twitch, join me, friends. And I'm starting to do it on my YouTube channel, too. Seeing how that works out, along with Facebook. Thank you. I lost my voice there for a second. Thank you for watching. This has been another production of Hot Mess Productions. Thank you, and cheers to you.